What are we making, Gabby?
Cookies.
What kind of cookies?
Nuts.
Biscotti. White chocolate macadamia nut biscotti. Please stop with your foot. And Gabby's going to be my little helper here. What are we making these for?
Daddy for Father's Day.
Daddy for Father's Day. So the first thing I need you to do is get those 2 eggs and crack it in the empty bowl.
Okay.
It's been a while since you got to crack an egg.
Ooh, yay.
You got it? Okay. You can just set the shells on the counter. I'll clean it up. And the next egg. I know. We'll wash your hands too.
Oh, yeah.
I just have the white chocolate chips and the macadamia nuts separated out over there.
That's pretty.
And I'll see if I need to separate any eggshells. Let's see how it looks. Ooh, looks pretty good. Okay, so to start these white chocolate macadamia nut biscotti, we have 1/2 cup of butter. It should be room temperature. I forgot to take it out, and I meant to just defrost it a little bit, and it ended up melting a little bit too much. It'll still work. It just might not be the best texture, but... And then we need 3/4 cup sugar. Can you add those to the bowl, Gabby?
Yes, Mama.
Make sure it's filled all the way to the top. Here, let me help you a little. There we go.
Can I do the other one?
Pour it in there. And we'll need 2 more. Just get it all the way in there.
1.
Slow down. What, Lily? No, you're not done. You keep eating. And 1 more. Alright, thank you, Gabby. Okay, so we have our butter and sugar in there, and Gabby's going to turn the mixer on slow. Oh, you know what?
What?
Mommy forgot to plug it in. Hold on, let me plug it in.
Sorry.
Okay, let's try it again. Mommy's got it plugged in now, so turn it on slow, 1 at a time. There we go. We're just going to cream this together until it's...
Can I watch it for you?
Yeah, you can watch it.
Okay.
You can turn it up 1 more notch. So we're just going to cream this together until it's light and fluffy.
Whoa, that goes fast. Can I do it again?
What?
Can I do it again?
1 more.
Whoa, that's fast.
Okay, so we mixed together our butter and sugar until it was light and fluffy, and I just scraped on the bowls, but you can see it turned, it's kind of hard to see. I'm sorry, the lighting is bad because we have a storm outside right now, so there's no light at all. But it turned almost white when I beat it together like that.
That's okay, Mom.
And now we're going to add a couple more ingredients. Okay, so the next ingredients we're going to add are 2 eggs.
Oh,
so
yeah!
Gabby can carefully pour the 2 eggs into the bowl, please.
Okay.
I'm going to help you a little bit here.
Yep.
I'm just going to keep my hand so it doesn't spill. Okay? Just nice and careful. You might want 2 hands here. Tip it all the way up. There you go. Okay, put that down. And then the recipe calls for...
Can I do that, please, Mom?
Nope, Mommy's going to do this one because I don't want to use measuring spoons. I never use measuring spoons when I use this. I buy really cheap vanilla. So it calls for a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm going to add quite a bit more than that just because it does not do the job well. Called for 2 tablespoons of amaretto. I didn't want to buy amaretto just for this, so I'm just using some almond extract.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
And that will go a lot farther than the amaretto, so I did not add the full 2 tablespoons. And then we're gonna just put this back down.
Cherries.
Smells like cherries?
Yeah.
There's vanilla and almond in there. Okay, put your head up and turn it 1 notch. Only 1, because it's kind of messy in there now. Just a minute, Lily. So we're just gonna stir this until this is well combined. Okay, so now we mix that all together, and we're gonna add our dry ingredients. I just add it all into this bowl. I don't separate it into another bowl and add slowly. I do it the easy, quick way, because with these two, I don't usually have a lot of time, and I don't want to make a bunch more dishes. So I just throw it all into one bowl. And I'm gonna add 2 cups of flour, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. The girls are just having dinner. What, honey? Are you scared of the thunder? It's not scary. It's okay. Just fun noise.
Funny.
I think
I like it.
it sounds cool.
Me too.
So I put the flour in first, and then the baking soda and salt, and I just gave it a little stir to mix it with the flour before that all mixes in with my wet ingredients. Remember, after you put the flour in, to start it off very slow so your flour doesn't go flying all over the place. So we're just gonna mix this until it just comes together, and then we'll, a little faster here. One more little. Okay. So just bring it together, and now I'm going to take my macadamia nuts and my white chocolate chips and fold it in. Something I forgot to do was scrape down the sides of the bowl and mix it once more. So I just did that with the rubber scraper, and it was looking pretty good, so I just kind of mixed it in. The measurements for the nuts and the chocolate was 3/4 cups of each. I think I added more like a cup of each. That's what the package of macadamia nuts is. And I think it's always better to have more. So, okay, so I folded in the nuts and the chocolate chips. And then I split the dough in half right in the bowl and scooped it out into big lumps. It is a sticky dough, so I just spread it out. I just used my spatula because it's a silicone one. So it didn't stick to this, and I could just spread it out. I'm not too concerned about the shape because you're going to slice it into sticks, so they're all going to be individual anyway. If you wanted, you could try to form it a little more symmetrical, but it will spread out a little while it's baking. But you're just going to put it in the middle of a preheated 325-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes or until lightly brown. Sorry, it's a little loud in here. Lily's doing her treatments before bed. But I set my alarm for 25 minutes, and it's just starting to get golden brown on the edges, so I'm going to put it in for a few more minutes. Our curtains are blowing from the wind from the storm. It's cooling off the house nice, though. Okay, so I took out the cookies, and I let them cool on the cutting board here for about 5 minutes. Now I'm just going to slice them in about 1.5-inch slices and put them on their side back onto the parchment paper on the cookie sheet and back into the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, so here we go. They're all sliced and put on their sides back on the cookie sheet, and they'll go back in for 8 to 10 minutes. When you slice them, the ends, I just kept these for snacking on. You can't really cook those, they won't cook right. So, and another tip, when you cut them, use a serrated knife. It will work much better for you, especially getting through the chunks of macadamia nuts that are left in there. So here they are, our finished biscotti. They turned out pretty good. The other side did get a little more brown than I would have liked. But that's what happens when you bake cookies at bedtime. And kids don't stay in their beds. I got a little distracted. Just a couple minutes too long, but they turned out alright. I did flip them I put them in for about 7 minutes, and then I flipped them and let them go another 7 minutes before I took them out. It ended up being about 10 minutes, but it should have been 7. And then I just let them sit out and cool, and when they first come out, as long as they start to get this little bit of golden brown color, that means they're done. They still feel soft until they cool, and then they get hard. So I let them cool, and they're really good. This would be really good now if I had more white chocolate. I could melt that down and dip half of it in. That would be very, very delicious. So I think my husband will like this with his coffee tomorrow. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching, and if you make these, let me know how they turned out for you. And till next time.